Hey everyone, this is going to be a short guide on a must-have machine in your world, and this is called the ME system. It's in the Applied Energistics mod, or Applied Energistics 2, AE, and it is the most useful, most helpful machine that will just help you with organization and just everything, and you need it. So basically it's a storage unit that helps you craft, it helps you craft. It can automate everything. You put it in this machine. In more complex machines, it can just, if you want like a very just crafting heavy machine that takes a whole bunch of components to make, you can input it to where all you do is say craft that machine, and it will make all the components for you, craft those components into more components, all the way up until you have your final machine, and it'll all do it by itself. You don't have to make any of the components yourself. So in the simple version, I don't really care that much, so I can craft stuff by myself, but it's really helpful with storage. You don't need like thousands of chests. This storage unit holds stacks of items up to like thousands, so you can just put everything in here. If you want to craft something, you go over here, you click on it, and then you shift left click on the question mark, if you know how to do that in the crafting table. I can't show it here because I'm in creative and it'll just drag that stuff over here, but when you ask to, like, for example, I'm just gonna use a crafting table. So if you want to learn how to make like this fluid storage, well, when you click on this in the AE system, like you click, if you want to learn how to make a piston, it'll bring up this, you shift right click the question mark, and it'll bring up everything needed to make that if you have it in your ME. So that's why it's super helpful, and you need the crafting terminal for that, but I'll get into that later. So I'm going to show you how to make this simple setup, and all the materials required to make it, how to basically everything, how to do everything to get this little machine and to get you more organized and just help you in your modded world. So these are the basic materials needed, all the materials needed, and it's not that much. It shouldn't take you that long to get these materials to create your ME system, and this should be done as soon as possible to help you with organization. Trust me, you will really want this. You will need some type of energy cell and power source. It doesn't use that much power. Later on in the game you can keep this continually powered, but right now I have it set up to where it's only powered when I step on the pressure plate. It stays on a little while after, because it has to use up all the power. See, it just shut off. I'll step back on it, and then it'll generate power while I'm using it, and when I step off it'll turn off. So first and foremost, you want to go around and mine ores, early game stuff. And you want to find at least one of these charged Certus Quartz ores, and you need one to make an energy acceptor. You'll find charged Certus Quartz ore and then just regular Certus Quartz ore. You only need one charged, but it'll be helpful if you can get more, and then you want to get as much Certus Quartz ore as possible. To make the first machine that you'll need is an energy acceptor. This allows other forms of energy to be converted to AE, which is used in Applied Energistics to power its machines. So you'll need right here, this is all you'll need. These are interchangeable, so you'll either need 5 Certus Quartz ore or 5 Nether Quartz, or 1 pure Fluix crystal and 1 Fluix crystal. Down here is how to make the Fluix crystals. So you put water in the world. You throw either a charged Certus Quartz ore or a pure Certus Quartz ore in the water along with Nether Quartz and redstone, and it will make your Fluix crystal. Pure Certus Quartz ore you make by crafting Certus Quartz ore dust and sand together, throwing it in water and waiting. You can use special machines that speed up the process. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Sorry, I didn't have this planned ahead. I can't see the machine right now. Oh, it's this right here. Crystal Growth Accelerator. If you put this around the water, it will accelerate the seed growth speed. So that's what you'll need to make the energy acceptor, and then you'll need cables to run the power along, which takes, to make 3 of these, 6 glass, 3 nether quartz, or 3 Certus quartz crystals. Of course, you ground these down into the dust to make these glass cables. And then once you have those 2 built, you'll want to move on to these 2 machines right here. So you'll have your energy acceptor, you'll have your power source, and right here, here's the charger. This charges your Certus quartz. So it's very helpful if you don't, like, if you need more charged quartz, which you will, it'll charge your Certus quartz using the machine into charged Certus quartz. This is the crafting recipe. We've already talked about the flux crystals and how to make those. Yeah, so basically all you do is you grab some of this, or Certus quartz, or you put it in the machine. When it receives power, well, it's a transfer node's automatically taken out, but it will be charged. And to automate it, you just hook up transfer nodes or pipes, anything to hook up to the charger, and it'll automatically put it in. Once it's done, it'll automatically take it out if you have a transfer node. So yep, that's if you want to automate that. Secondly, you will need this inscriber. So to make the inscriber, it's you can alternate these, either pure fluix or fluix. 5 iron ingots and 2 sticky pistons will make your inscriber, and this is very important for to make components to craft things you'll need in the ME system. Things such as a calculation processor, logic processor, and engineering processor. So before you can actually do anything in the inscriber, you need these press, which you can find by going around the world with this meteorite compass. Let's see if I can find the crafting recipe, which you can get with 4 iron ingot and 1 charged Certus quartz ore. So it's really helpful if you have a jetpack and a glider, or just run around until you find a meteorite. This will help you. And then you'll want to pick up, or you'll want to find the center of the meteorite. And I will say that the skystone that surrounds, or that makes up the meteorite, it takes a very long time to break, so a nice pick will be helpful. You want to get to the center. I have a skystone chest, and the skystone chest will have these presses in them. It will not have all of them. It might have 2 of the same. It might have 2 different ones. If you get lucky, maybe it'll have all 4, but you will need to go to multiple meteorites most likely to find all of these presses. You will need all of these presses. So the silicone press, it compresses silicone to printed silicone. The engineering press uses this diamond to make the printed engineering circuit, and then calculation uses this to produce that. Logic press uses gold to produce that. And then once you have these components, you use it along with redstone to create these final components, which you will need to craft other things in ME. So yeah, you basically put your press right here, your silicone, your gold, whatever right here. It'll output it right here, so like that'll make these. And then once you have all of these components, you stick the calculation on top or bottom, printed silicone on top or bottom, and then redstone in the middle, and it will make your little gadgets right here. So that, you will need both of these machines, and that's how you make them. Next, you'll want to move on to the ME controller, and to make it, you will need to gather some of the skystone from the meteorite. You need 4. You will smelt them in a furnace to make 4, and then the crafting recipes right here. We've already talked about the flux crystals, and then there's your engineering processor, which we just talked about. Then you'll want to move on to the ME drive. The ME drive is what stores basically all your items and data, and then so it uses these storage cells right here, and this is the crafting recipe, which we've already gone over these components. This is a crafting recipe to make the drive, and then these are storage cells. Let's just check out how to make these. So storage cells, quartz glass. I didn't really talk about this, but I showed the components to make it. Quartz glass is just ground up nether dust or Certus quartz along with glass to make quartz glass. Redstone, iron, and then this is a storage component, And as I was saying, you will need the logic processors, calculation processors, engineering processors when making different things in ME. You'll use your quartz or your Certus quartz and then redstone to make the most basic storage unit, and then all the way up to a 64K, which will take more in-depth crafting components, as you can tell. Yep. So it can also hold fluids. This is mainly later in the game, and yeah, so it's very very helpful. So those are actually all the things you need to make your very own ME system. So once you have all those components, you want to set it up in fashion similar to this, whatever way you want, but it does need to be arranged in a certain format. So basically I have an energy acceptor connected to my redstone energy cell, so I get energy, the ME drive next to the energy acceptor, a cable hooking up to the controller, and then a ME crafting terminal connected to our glass cable here so I can access my ME system. So that's basically like your ME system right there. Yeah, that's how you set it up. The more storage components you have, the more you can hold. Basically just throw everything in here. If you want to craft something, click on it over here, shift left click the question mark, as I've already shown. It'll pop up right here. Just grab it and you're good to go. It's very helpful for crafting, must have in your world. Hope you enjoyed, hope this helps. It will help. It will help. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I will go into more detail on how to make bigger and better ME systems, not in the near future, but maybe later on. It gets very complicated, so hope you enjoyed. Yeah, leave any comments if you have any questions and whatever. If you need help on any other mods, let me know. And yeah, peace.